Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis.
Debonair and quite as light as air. In his very soft shoes, how he could dip and glide and skip and slip and slide. In his very soft shoes, I used to stand and watch him every day. He was always smooth and cool. I used to love to hear the people say he's a regular dancing fool. He barely touched the ground and never made a sound. But I've noticed in all his reviews that when he took his bow to the crowd in the crowd went crazy and the house came down when Daddy wore his very soft
Hello, I'm very excited. This is the 40th episode of Paid to Dream, and I have the dreamer of all time here, my dear friend and mishpucha, as he's reminded me, Elliott Gould. Elliott.
Nice to finally be here with you, Charles.
Absolutely, and the crazy Jew behind you.
No, it's cockeye. It's not a crazy Jew.
Oh, cockeye Jew.
You're the crazy Jew. It's just the cockeye Jew.
De temps en temps, oui. De temps en temps, no. So, people who didn't know about your musical background got a little hint of it with that clip from Once Upon a Mattress.
You know, that was a great privilege for me to do.
And had you done it on stage as well, or just
No, I never did. Actually, but that was Carol Burnett who did it every place. She is such a phenomenon.
Yeah. But you were dancing since you were a kid.
Well, since I'm eight or 8.5, but I think we're conceived. So, I mean, at the moment we're conceived, we're dancing.
You danced on the Milton Berle show.
No, I never danced there, but I recited some stuff. I appeared. I don't always dance when I appear. Great.
And at the Palace?
I was at the Palace in 1951. That was amazing. I was in an act that followed Smith and Dale, and they were the original Sunshine Boys.
Yes, but wasn't John Bubbles on the bill as well?
Well, that was earlier. You know, when I first started to study song and dance, the first club date I had was with fucking Bubbles and Josh White Jr. And when I asked Fred Astaire directly, and personally, who, if anyone, ever had an influence on him, he said, John Bubbles. And if you want to see, watch Vincent Minnelli's Cabin in the Sky, and you'll see John Bubbles playing Shine.
He was the bad guy.
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he trying to steal?
No. Bubbles was not equipped to be a bad guy. He was the original Sporting Life in Sporting Best.
Wow. Amazing. I have a picture we're going to pop in here from Say Darling.
Oh, wow.
It's a picture of you sitting on stage with other dancers behind Jerome Cowan.
That was good. He was the psychoanalyst. But this is Say Darling. No, he was playing George Abbott because it was a musical, a book musical in 3 acts about the making of Pajama Game. And Mr. Abbott was one of our great theater directors, directed Pajama Game, and Jerome Cowan played the part.
And Bobby Morse played the Harold Prince character.
Well, he was great. That was a great discovery for us. Bobby Morse was also phenomenal.
And you told me the part you played, Earl Jorgensen, was the first time you had a character name.
Yeah. Earl Jorgensen. I thought he was the first baseman for the Chicago Cubs. I auditioned 8 times a week in the scene in the second act when they were casting it, the play within the play, and I had to sing "Old Man River." I was Earl Jorgensen. My voice was very deep.
Did you also, in your musical career, did you not do the Fantastics?
I did it with Liza. Oh my, that was great. I had to learn it.
And you were El Gallo?
I played El Donovan, the role that Suri Orbach created, but we had a great time and became friends forever.
And wasn't Ronnie Walken, better known as Christopher Walken, in it as well?
Not in our company, but I knew the whole Walken family. Their families goes Long Island. I still some of the family probably still has the bakeries.
Wow. What an amazing career. I first encountered you. I realized I thought
wasn't it? You were there.
Sorry, at your bris? No, I was imagining it
Okay.
elsewhere, but I always said I met you when George Barry had you phone me, but in point of fact, 5 years before that, I was a guest at the Festival of Festivals in Toronto on a panel with Frank Capra, Agnes Varda, and your friend Bob Kaufman.
Yes.
And there was a big party that night, and I went there, and Donald Sutherland was there, and he introduced me to you.
Oh, great.
It was not, nothing came of that. But 5 years later, I was in bed at home in my house up on Palo Vista Drive. The phone rang and woke me, and this voice, which I now know so well, introduced himself. I'm Elliott Gould, and George Barry told me to phone you. And my thought looking at the clock was, are you in New York? He said, no, I'm here. And I thought, he's phoning at 7 a.m. And then just said, can I come over? I went, okay. And so that was the beginning of it.
7 a.m. I was here doing theater at some dinner theater.
Here in L.A.?
No, I thought that was Toronto. It's okay.
No, that was here in L.A. And you came over because George was very keen to make a movie of a book of mine called A Divine Case of Murder. And he wanted you to play the rabbi who murdered his wife with a salami. And that was the beginning of our relationship. And later that week, you took me to visit 2 people who were having medical issues. One was Butch Cavell, and you took me over there, and I met him and his mother. And then you took me to Karen Lamb's house.
She was a great girl.
Oh, my God. Well, I remember
to Bobby Lamb from Chicago, and probably at that time, she was married to the dentist,
Dennis Wilson.
Yeah, Dennis Wilson.
But I remember
she told me that you pinched her tushy very hard.
No. You've said this. This is not my nature. I'm not a tushy pincher.
Well, no, but you're known to have been stimulated by women.
Oh, yes,
which isn't stimulated by a tushy that's asking to be pushed or pinched.
I just thought it was, that thing about Karen Lamb. I remember walking into her house and seeing this wild creature whose face was all scratched up.
Was that her?
And her arms were scratched up. And I thought, what the hell? Why has he brought me here? And then I went into I said, can I use the bathroom? I had to get out of there. I went in the bathroom and I saw a poster of a drop-dead gorgeous girl. And I realized, that's her. I want to see her like that. I think she had addiction.
You have to pinch your tushy. I don't blame you. There's not a baby on earth whose tushy I wouldn't want to bite.
Tushies are us.
People say tushy in Canada, don't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't think the Trudeau family ever said tushy.
I'm not so sure. I'll ask a mutual friend.
What I find peculiar about meeting both these people was your instructions were that if you had to go away and weren't available to take care of them, that I was to step in.
To take care of what?
I don't know. They're
Tissues,
problems.
random tissues.
I wasn't going to pinch Butch Cavel's tush.
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
Bless his
He's
heart.
no longer available.
No, and Karen's no longer available. It's very sad.
No, Karen, a good woman is always available. Just identity could be a problem if you belong to the right union.
What union would that be?
What's that?
The Tush Pinchers Union.
Yes.
Well, this is a first for the show. We're getting into an area we've never gotten into. Tushies. God bless you. Well, that was the beginning of a series of ongoing adventures that you led me into. We then began, you asked me to accompany you to Will Rogers Park to go jogging. And you were like a Clydesdale. I couldn't believe the way you could jog up those hills in Will Rogers Park.
Well, I mean, that was great to be able to do that. And I never give up. So, and I only have 2 legs, but I'll always try.
Yeah. And then we had several picnics there with your family, with Jenny and Sam, who was only 10 maybe, and years later starred in my movie. I just love that continuum of our lives. It's amazing.
It has no choice. Our life has to continue. For me, it's one life, and it's all of us.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I also vividly recall being in New York with you, and you're taking me to Brooklyn to meet the Gypsies.
Oh,
wasn't that something?
Absolutely. They're all.
How did they come into your life?
The Gypsies, they knew me, and we were doing something called Over the Brooklyn Bridge with Sid Caesar, Shelley Winters, Margot Hemingway, Burke Young. Oh, it was great. It was
very underappreciated. I can't find it anywhere. I loved that movie.
It's findable. It was the Israelis that made it. Menachem Golan directed it, but the opportunity to work with Sid Caesar was amazing. We acted together.
And you both shared when you were kids, several years apart, you both had this gift for doing accents.
Well, he'd be absolutely beyond. Sometimes I can do a Jewish accent. Actually, I've got to do it. I'm going to be recording something at the end of this week, but it's not what I usually do. But it's a gift.
You do the best Paul Lucas I ever heard.
Well, no, now you do it better.
No, because you know that
from
the Three Musketeers.
Any man who will challenge the 3 of us is either a fool or a champion, and I shall find out.
God bless him. God bless them all. And then one of my favorite adventures, you called me one morning and said, "Do you want to go to New Jersey with me?" You were hosting an MTV telethon in New Jersey, and the next thing I knew, I was with you on the plane flying to New Jersey.
Oh, did we have to parachute out, or did they?
No, they actually managed to land that plane, but what they didn't do, they didn't have any kind of talent coordinator, and they asked me to take over coordinating all these people to get them on stage with you. That was a lot of fun.
Good. I love fun.
I do remember that hotel we stayed at. We went and had dinner in the dining room, and it was before The Sopranos started airing, but it was like The Sopranos.
Yeah,
a lot of mobbed up people having dinner on Saturday night.
That's great. Sopranos. They had originally wanted that actor. Who was the star of The Sopranos?
James Gandolfini.
Yes, he's a great actor. But they couldn't make a deal with him, and that's how I got into the Ocean's movies.
Oh.
That's what I heard,
He was going to play Hyman.
Well, they wanted him. He was going to play the character that I'll play in the Ocean's movies. Like, what's my name? I can't think of my name now.
Hyman. No.
Hyman. That was the guy.
No, that's in Godfather 2. Oh, what the heck's his
That was
name?
Lee Strasberg.
Yeah. Now, what was your last Broadway musical? Wholesale?
No musical. That would have been, I think, Trap the Cat with
Right. Oh my goodness, yes.
Water, Jack Fletcher, and directed by Joe Layton. That was fun. And the song, it was written by Ira Levin, who also wrote Death Trap, which we used to talk about. That was my last musical.
You and I both played Sidney Brule at different times.
I know.
How wonderful. And then you appeared on the London stage in On the Town.
I did, actually.
I wouldn't make that up. I know I made a couple of mistakes so far. No, but that one I know you
did. You made any mistake. Charles Dennis is a man of no mistake.
Unmistakable. Yes, that's where you and Miss Streisand met, and I can get it for you wholesale.
Where? Not on the London stage.
No, but she was doing Funny Girl, wasn't she, in London when you were...
No, she was auditioning. No.
See, I made a mistake.
Before I can get it to you wholesale. And she's no longer Miss Streisand. She's now Mrs. He's a nice guy. He was in one of my pictures.
Yes, Capricorn. Capricorn 1, Jim Brolin.
No, it wasn't. It was a pretty good script by Peter Hines. Yeah.
I remember being at your house one day, and she brought your eldest son, Jason, over.
My first son. Oh,
yes, your firstborn.
He lights me up. He's so great.
Oh, my God. Who knew? Well, maybe you knew, but when he suddenly started singing a few years ago with that gorgeous voice. But you, I mean, we know about Barbara, but your voice was, I play the album if I can get it for you wholesale when I drive the car, and you have a wonderful singing voice.
Oh, thanks. Let's see. Ira Levin and Milton Schaefer. Wholesale, that was amazing. My first principal part. Directed by Arthur Lawrence. Yeah.
But you were not the first choice to play
Harry Bogan. I know of another one. They almost reflects me because it was more than a hard part. It was very unsympathetic, but I was able to get into town and to run. It was a great opportunity and amazing. I'll never forget it. I dream about it. It was pretty amazing at the Schubert Theater in New York.
And I remember being in New York with you one day, and you took me backstage.
Isn't that great? It's almost
you took me backstage. They let you in. God bless. And you took me on stage, and there you were reliving what it must have been like that opening.
There we were. It's all about us, Charles. It's not about anybody, just us. The human quotient in the environment.
Tell me about Viktor Frankl.
Tell you about who?
What's the name of a book that you've been reading recently?
Oh, I've just been reading, the book's right here. It's called The Uncool by Cameron Crowe. Yeah, I love it. It's like rock and roll. Took me a long time to get into rock and roll. And so I asked to meet Elvis. And I brought a friend, Joseph Raymond Walsh, who had lived his picture with me about gambling called California Split. And so Elvis let us in. He opened the door and he had a cold pistol in his belt. And he said, "Hey, man, you're crazy." And I said, "I ain't crazy, Elvis. I'm scared just like you." And then he said, "Why did you and Barbara break up? You're two of my favorite people." And I said, "Shut up, Elvis," which could be the title of my book.
That's a good one. My book is called Who the Hell is Charles Dennis? And I'm waiting to hear from the publishers about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long have you been waiting?
Couple months.
Okay.
They've got stacks of books, I guess. What did I want to ask you? Yeah, that Time magazine cover, which we're going to show right now, from 1970. You were the guy. What is impressive is the number of actors who got roles that you turned down that year.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? Dustin Hoffman's Straw Dogs was offered to you first.
It was offered
Dollars
to me. I
was
don't know about first, second, third, or fourth. Dustin. I mean, nobody can compete with Dustin. And I've known him for so long. He's such a great actor. But Straw Dogs, they say, I'm sorry I didn't do that. It's a wonderful movie.
Dollars, which wasn't such a wonderful movie, but Warren Beatty did it.
With Goldie Hawn and Warren Beatty, that was okay. Directed by that guy. He could help me with that. The guy who Richard Brooks directed that. Dollars. Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate and, to be able to do quite a bit of work in my limited way. And I'm grateful for it.
You to have worked with William Dieterle, Robert Altman, Ingmar Bergman, and Steven Soderbergh, that's a very impressive collection of directors that you worked with.
Jason Gould directed me. And I did a film with and for Monica Vitti, the great Italian star. And she wanted to direct her film. And the business people said, if we can get Elliott to be your friend and hold the camera for the first shot, that you can direct the picture. So I did it. And she told me that Federico, you know who I mean by Federico? Fellini.
Mr. Fellini.
Yeah, Fellini, who's a friend in Italy, said, Elliott looks like a nice guy. How do you feel about that? Don't lose his laundry.
Steven Soderbergh, what was that like? Well, it's several times. He loves you.
Oh, I love Steven. Steven is a brilliant filmmaker and a friend.
Oh, wait a minute. Your character's last name was Tishkoff.
Tishkoff, Ruben Tishkoff, yeah.
Ruben Tishkoff, there you go. I remember you phoning and telling me, I'm playing the Akim Tamirov part, and I went, what?
Don't provoke.
Don't provoke. Yeah. What a wonderful actor he was. Tell me about
Ingmar
Bert Lahr.
Ingmar Bergman, his favorite food of latkes, potato latkes. And I don't think he was kosher, but
Ingmar Bergman?
Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, and for me, everything is in the present. So he was sublime. He was absolutely perfect, brilliant. And of course, he had a great cameraman in Sven Nykvist and some of the finest white actors in the world, like Bibi Andersson and Liv Ullmann and Max von Sydow. And he asked me to play a part in his movie. Please. I could never let it go to my head. It's because I don't have one.
What do you do instead of a head?
I piss in my pants.
You heard it here, folks. And what about Bob Altman?
Oh, well, Bob Altman gave me all the room in the universe to improvise. And I had never improvised on film before. And he called me in, gave me a script to mash. I hadn't even met Donald yet because he put Donald and me together. And Altman said, "How would you like to play the American Southerner in my movie, man?" And I said, "Well, I never liked a question an author, and all I want to do is work. But if you haven't cast this Trapper John McIntyre character, I got the juice that you need for it, the energy." And so he let me cast myself. And we just had an amazing collaboration, and which would still be going on because for me, he was the American director.
I was a huge, huge fan. Just loved his films. And Wilhelm Dieterle, your first film, was he still wearing those gloves on his hands?
I didn't notice that, but his wife was on the set because I was told that once he would do a take, he wouldn't print it unless she gave him a heads up, you know. I said, "What do you think? I'm a deaf mute in the picture. I don't have a line, but at the end, I get shocked into making a sound." And he said, "This is with Rayma Lands and with Ginger Rogers and with Barbara Eden and Michael and Sarah." And he said to me, "Dieterle, when I heard with Lawton, he did a Hunchback of Notre Dame." He said, Lawton went, "Whoa, whoa." And I thought, oh, well, his assistant was someone named, who had a name, I can't think of it. And he worked with me, and that too. I have to do an interview about it. It's my first picture. Whoa, you could do
Ooh.
that.
I was that I was loved. Something was it. I could talk about Lawton forever. Now you also your second movie, because nobody really, there wasn't a major release for that.
You mean The Night They Raided Minsky's?
Yes.
Well, but I mean, please, it had a great cast, and Billy Friedkin directed it, and I played Minsky, and I got a chance to work with Bert Lahr, and Bert Lahr was just sublime. He brought me home with him and said to his wife, "Look what I brought." The guy I recognized.
And Joe Wiseman, who I described as the Hasidic John Gielgud, played your father with that tremulous.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the Beavis and Butthead, he played the horse. He's a great actor, and he won an Academy Award for Detective Story. Joseph Weitz.
Yeah. And he and Michael Strong had done Detective Story on Broadway, then they did the movie, and they did a play in Westwood called The Sponsor. And I was close with Michael Strong at the time, so I had a opening night party at my house. And Joseph Wiseman arrived, and I was so used to Joseph Wiseman. He goes, "Thank you very much for having us here." It's really, I thought, who's this? It was all
great actor.
As Stallone said, it was a facade.
Yeah.
Nice man. His wife was a big, big dancer. What the hell was her name? She was like a famous dancer.
Oh, wait, somebody could look it up.
Yeah. But later.
The same with George S. Irving. I think his wife may have been Maria Karnova, who was a great dancer.
And then was the first Golda in Fiddler, right?
Could have been.
Yeah, and she was one of the three, because Jerry Robbins loved it. She was one of the three strippers.
Yeah.
In Gypsy.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell's her name? It'll come back to me. John Wayne. I loved your encounter with John Wayne at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, John Wayne. I was told by Mike Frankovich, who was running Columbia Pictures, that Duke, that's what people called John Wayne, Duke. He wanted me to play the Jewish journalist who he, uh, let's see, kicks down the stairs and throws him out of his office. And that if I did that, they wouldn't have to get any more guests. And but John Wayne was John Wayne. Do you recall his name prior to that?
Yes, Marion Michael Morrison.
Yes.
But when he went up to get the Golden Globe, did he not ask you to take care of his wife?
Well, I was sitting where they sat me right next to him. Yeah. Academy Awards. I guess that's the 1 year that I was nominated and, of course, didn't win. And Jack Nicholson said to me, "You can't win, Elliott." But Gig Young won, and it had a commercial during the telecast of the show, and where they get the people backstage so they can just walk on. Duke said to me, "When I go up there, you look out for Pilar," his wife. So, absolutely.
Norman Lloyd, who you brought.
106.5, Norman Lloyd. I can't colloquialize, right? Or you can cut it out. I can't say a letter. I'll control myself. Norman Lloyd was a great friend, and he was so close to Alfred Hitchcock. And Alfred Hitchcock, when I wore long red underwear to one of my meetings with Mr. Hitchcock, he looked at me and he said, "You're a clown." And I said, "Yes." And then he saw, because I was wearing a red, white, and blue headband, and he said, "Oh, and you're an Indian." And I said, "I haven't changed." But Hitchcock, he was out there because Ingmar Bergman had told me that Hitchcock and William Wyler were his favorite directors. Hitchcock for pure imagination, and Wyler as an administrative producer director. And I was so privileged to know both of those guys. I never worked for them, but Hitchcock was out of sight.
With many of your contemporaries either retired, not working, or having gone on tour, as I call it, you continue to work. Ray Donovan and most recently, The Lincoln Lawyer, which I love you on. Are you doing more of them?
Well, I've done a batch. I've done this current season, and they tell me that they thought they want to write me in just as a spirit, but I don't expect to do it anymore. But I've already done one as a spirit like this. I'm not even here. I'm at the beach right now.
I forgot he passed on.
Oh, I didn't want to spoil it for your audience.
You devil! You're just a devil, Mr. Gould. But you're my devil, and you're my cousin. We still have to do the DNA and check.
You mustn't be selfish, Charles. It's our, just like the devil foods cake. I love devil foods.
I love you.
Oh, thanks, Charles. And we all love you as well. Please give my best to Mrs. Dennis.
I will. And if you love this show, and how could you not with my guest, please click like, subscribe, tell your friends. This has been Paid to Dream. Bye-bye, El.
Bye, baby.